नमस्ते बिटियाओं, सदा खुश रहिए और स्वस्थ रहिए। आई JVN ब्रिजेश कुमार यादव, फैकल्टी ऑफ एजुकेशन एंड मेथोडोलॉजी, ज्योति विद्यापीठ, वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी जयपुर। वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू in my digital class. Students, I have prepared this lecture for BSc B.Ed ZBC 6M. Paper name is Plant Physiology. Topic is transpiration. Students, today we are going to see some of the facts, definition, types and their functions of transpiration. So let's have a look on definitions. In simple way, transpiration is the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial part of the plants. That's it. This is the one of the simplest definition of transpiration. Means the loss of water. You can correlate this process with the incidence in animals, that is sweating. Sweating is also a kind of loss of water from body, that is aerial part. So same process is happening in plants, that name is transpiration. So here I have written more than one definition. You can remember any one of them which you like most, feel convenient to remember, but try to focus to understand the concepts and pay attention on these. The physiological process by which the excess water is lost from the living tissues of the plant in the form of vapor, that is known as transpiration. Another definition is transpiration is the process of water movement throughout the plant and its evaporation from aerial part such as leaf, stem, flowers. They have mentioned the aerial parts. Another example is definition is transpiration is the process by which water vapor leaves the living plant body and enter into the atmosphere. Okay, so these are the different types of definitions given by different scientists. You can remember any one of them. It is not compulsory to remember all those. In this slide there is a diagram. You can see this diagram illustrates the process of transpiration. A plant is there, sun is there, there is a process that is evaporation. Actually this transpiration is quite similar to evaporation, but evaporation is happen in any outside living plant parts. Suppose one pond is there and there is a loss of water, that is happening, that is kind of transpiration, but transpiration is specifically confined to the plant's case. Okay, although it is a part of, it is a kind of evaporation. Okay, so try to understand in this way. Plant is there, root, stem, stomata is there, all those parts are there. So how they are going to participate in transpiration, we'll see. Now we'll see some of the characteristic features of transpiration. What kind of characters are there, how they are happening, we'll see. So according to recent study, it has been revealed that about 10% of moisture found in the atmosphere is released by the plants through stomata. We can understand it in this way, that out of total moisture present in the atmosphere, out of this total 10% of moisture is contributed by plants, that is the process of transpiration. So in this way transpiration contribute 10% of total atmospheric moisture. Okay, and remaining 90% is supplied by evaporation from ocean, sea, lakes, other water bodies. Okay, so this is the data of contribution of transpiration in the atmospheric moisture. Okay, this happened during dry period. This transpiration happened in dry period, and this transpiration increased the loss of water in the upper layer of soil, which affects vegetation, horticulture, agronomic, field crop, that is another thing. Plant transpiration is pretty much an invisible process. Okay, we cannot see it in visual form that transpiration is happening. Suppose once you keep your wet cloth in sunlight, okay, after some time you find it dried, okay, but you don't know how this dried, just because of the evaporation of all the water content which were present over there in cloth, that was evaporated, okay, but in other form you are getting just dried form of your cloth. So this process is going on, but we cannot see it by naked eye, okay, that is the saying. Transpiration is the evaporation of water from plants and tree. We have already discussed. Approximately 90% of all water taken up by plant is lost to transpiration. So whatever water is present in the plant, out of total 90% of, you can imagine that 90% of water from the plant is evaporated by transpiration. So only 10% of water is utilized in the vital process of plants. You can imagine how much amount of water is going to be evaporated by the process of transpiration. Okay, you can think about it. So it is a huge amount. Almost all part of water which was absorbed by root is get evaporated by the process of transpiration. So only 10% is utilized by plant, such as for that process of photosynthesis. Okay, in continuation of that characteristics, transpiration is the final step in a continuous water pathway that starts from the soil into plant roots and ends at it passes into the atmosphere. Means this transpiration is the final step of the water movement in the plant body, in simple terms. Okay, you try to understand it in this way, that water is absorbed by root. Okay, now this water move throughout the plant body, utilized by the plant body in different vital activities. Out of that last fate of this water which was absorbed by root from soil, that is leave the plant body in the form of transpiration. Okay, so this transpiration is the last fate, last step of water into the plant body. After that it will get evaporated from the plant body and enter into the atmosphere. Okay, this is the another cycle of water you might be studied in your previous classes. Next is 98% of plant energy is utilized in the work of transpiration. Now you think about how much energy utilized, how much energy it consumes from the plants. It is almost all the energy is consumed by the transpiration. Only 2% of energy is utilized for other vital processes. Otherwise, rest of the energy is utilized by the process of transpiration. Transpiration rates are highest in the leaves. I have already explained that transpiration mainly carried out by aerial parts, and leaf is one of the most important aerial part which contribute. We'll see next couple of slides how much contribution is there of leaf for transpiration. We'll see them. Okay, so highest transpiration rate is by the leaves. Okay, transpiration is an elegant, sustainable, natural design. This is all things without consumption of any electricity, fossil fuel, all those things. This is not our concern. Next is the many xeric plants have some small leaves. These are the modification of plants to reduce transpiration. How they are going to reduce? Let's have a look. That many xeric plants means those plants which are found in xeric condition, means what you call where water deficiency is there. That kind of, like in Rajasthan, that Thar Marusthal is there. So those kind of areas, such type of plants there. So how these plants adopted themselves for that particular deficient water atmosphere, so that transpiration will be reduced. So they have small leaves, silvery reflective leaves, hairy leaves, and produce essential oil, which are the strategy to reduce transpiration by reducing evaporation. So these are the mode of reduction of transpiration, so that there is a very less loss of water from the body. Okay, now some of the importance of transpiration, how this transpiration is important for plants, how it is going to help them, what is the significance of transpiration. So let's have a look. Transpiration is a very useful process we all know for plants. It creates negative pressure gradient that help draw water and mineral up through the plants from its roots. Okay, this is the one fundamental and most important significance of transpiration, that creates a pressure gradient that helps to draw the water from roots so that it can move in the plant body, and along with the water, minerals also move into the body. Okay, so this is the most important significance of transpiration. Because of transpiration, water moves into the plant body. We have already discussed in that chapter. It also helps to keep the plant cool on hot weather. This is the second important, as we know that sweating is also significant for us to maintain body temperature of human body. Similarly, this also maintain the temperature of plants. Apart from these significance, it also supports photosynthesis, encourages the exchange of gases, helping maintain level of CO2 and O2 in the atmosphere. So in this way we have seen some of the significances, importance of transpiration, how transpiration helps to the plants. Now types of transpiration. So on the basis of passes, the parts which are going to participate in transpiration, there are three types of transpiration. One is stomatal transpiration, second is cuticular transpiration, and third is lenticular transpiration. These names of the transpiration, these types of transpiration, based on the parts of the plant which participate. So we'll see in next couple of slides what are these in details. Okay, so this one is stomatal transpiration. This transpiration occur through stomata. We all know, it is understood. Stomatal transpiration, this type of transpiration only occur in its presence of sunlight, means daytime. Why? Because you know that during daytime only stomata open. This is exceptional, but in some other plants like camp plants, stomata opened in night time. Okay, but we are not talking about that. We are talking generally that all those plants which stomata open during daytime, in those plants this transpiration is going on. Okay, this method, in this method plants give out 80 to 90% of water in the form of vapor. Okay, so there is a schematic diagram of leaf. You can see there is a different tissues of leaves, and you can see that lowermost portion, that is lower epidermis, it has stomata, and this stomata is going to participate in the transpiration, means in the evaporation of water. So this is transpiration by stomata. Second is cuticular transpiration, means when cuticular cells, that cuticle of the leaves is participating in the process of transpiration, that is known as cuticular transpiration. In that you can see that there is a epidermis, upper epidermis, and above that upper epidermis there is a thin layer of cuticle. Cuticle is nothing but it is a wax substance. So this cuticle is going to participate in the transpiration, and this cuticular transpiration contribute only 5 to 10% of total transpiration. And third one is lenticular. Before going to study and understand the lenticular, it is better to understand lenticels first. Lenticels are a small opening in the corky tissue or stem or twig. Okay, you can see in the diagram, these are the lenticel, and these small pores are participating in the evaporation of water, and this lenticular transpiration is carried out only a small fraction of transpiration, that is 0.1%. okay, so these are the three different. Now these are the three different transpiration process, how much they contribute. So we can say that maximum part of transpiration is carried out by stomata, that is 90% or more than 90%, and second one is 3 to 10% by cuticular, and lenticel is very less part is carried out by lenticel. So students, in this way we have seen some of the facts, types, definition, significance of transpiration. Thank you very much.